Namaskaram and welcome to the third episode of the Bhaktavani series on the Alvars. There is no gradation possible within devotees of the Lord because each devotee shares a very special relationship with the Lord. However, the one Alvar which Lord Ranganatha himself considered as his own and named him Nam Alvar. He is our Alvar. That was Nammalvar. One episode is not enough to speak of the greatness of this great saint Nammalvar, but we shall try to do justice in whatever time is available today. He is known by different names such as Maran, Harankushan, but the more popular names are Sadagopan, by which Nammalvar himself refers to himself in his Pasurams, or Sadari. The origin of these names is very interesting. The Satavayu, or the air called as Sata, is believed to be the air that touches our head when we are born out of the womb of our mothers. When there is a first time the child comes out of the womb, the head first, the air that touches the head is called as Shatavayu. And the function of the Shatavayu is to make us, the Jiva, forget all the promises that we made to the Lord when we were in the womb of the mother. This is explained beautifully by Kapila Maharshi in the Srimad Bhagavatam when he is explaining to his mother Devahuti. He says that the fetus, the child that is there in the womb of the mother, it is in constant meditation and prayer to the Lord. It seems at that point of time all the previous births of the Jiva are shown to the Jiva, and the Jiva is trembling with fear that it's going to take another birth. But it assures the Lord that this will be the last birth and it will do all its efforts on its part to attain the Lord in this birth at least. Having made this promise is when the Jiva comes out of the womb of the mother. But the Shatavayu of Prakriti, it touches the head of the Jiva, of the child, and all these promises are forgotten. So it seems when Nammalvar was born, he got angry at the Shatavayu, saying that it should not touch him and should not make him forget the promises he has made to the Lord. That is why he is called as a person who angered, who became angry with the Shatavayu itself. Shatakopan, the kopam, anger towards the Shatavayu. Shatari, Ari means enemy. He is the enemy of Shatavayu. That is why whenever you go to the Vishnu temples in the south, they place a crown like structure with the feet of the Lord at the top of it on the head. And it is called as Shatari. The name given to that is Shatari, that is placing the feet of the Lord on your head. This comes from the name of Nammalvar, who was forever at the feet of the Lord, who had attained the feet of the Lord. So this is in his memory that it was named as Shatari. When Nammalvar was born, it seems the child did not cry, did not eat, did not drink. It used to always remain silent and have a smile on its face. Unable to understand this phenomenon, the parents of the child place the child at the mercy of the Lord at Tirukurugur, to which the parents of Nammalvar belonged to and where Nammalvar was born. It is said that when they placed the child at the feet of the Lord, the child crawled and went and sat in front of the temple. There is a tamarind tree with a hole in it. So the child is said to have crawled and gone inside and sat into that hole of that tamarind tree. And the moment it sat into that hole, it went into samadhi. and it remained in samadhi forever. Years passed by, nearly 16 years had passed by, and Nammalvar was constantly in samadhi, completely lost in touch communication with the outer world, with the mundane world, and constantly in divine bliss, merged in divine bliss. But the greatness of Nammalvar had to be brought out to the world, and the Lord Narayana also wanted to hear from the beautiful songs from the mouth of Nammalvar. So here comes the great Vaishnavite, Madhurakavi. Madhurakavi was a great Vaishnavite, and he was in search of a guru. He was a great Jignasu. And on his spiritual path, he was in search of a guru. And in those days, Kashi and the various places in the north were known as great seats of learning where great Mahatmas lived. So he was traveling in the northern part of the country, when one fine day he finds a strange shining light in the sky. Somehow, something inside Madhurakavi makes him feel that this is the answer to his question, and the light will show him the path. So he begins to follow this light. The light disappears in the morning and again reappears at the night. So the moment the light disappears, wherever Madhurakavi is, he will rest during the day at that place. And when the light appears again in the night, the light will start traveling and he will travel along with the light. He spent many days like this, and the light started traveling southwards from the north and finally disappeared at Tirukurugur, or Alvar Tirunagari, the place where Nammalvar was there. So the moment the light disappeared, Madhurakavi knew that this was a very sacred place and here he would find his guru. So he asks people around as to the greatness of this place. So they say that they point out different greatness, but they say that one speciality is about the boy who has been inside this tamarind tree for 16 years in samadhi. So something inside Madhurakavi strikes that probably this is the guru he's searching for, and he goes towards where Nammalvar is. And tradition says that he dropped a stone so that Nammalvar could be awakened. But I would say that the very coming of the disciple would have awakened the guru. So Nammalvar opens his eyes for the first time in 16 years and he sees Madhurakavi. And Madhurakavi asks him a question. He asks him, செத்தத்தின் வயிற்றில் சிறியது ஒன்று பிறந்தால் எத்தை தின்று எங்கே கிடக்கும்? செத்ததின் வயிற்றில், in a dead corpse, in a dead body. செத்தத்தின் வயிற்றில், in the womb of that dead being. சிறியது ஒன்று பிறந்தால், if there is a sign of consciousness, if there's something that is born, something subtle, something conscious appears. சிறியது ஒன்று பிறந்தால் எத்தை தின்று எங்கே கிடக்கும்? What will it eat and where will it live? Nammalvar says, for the first time in 16 years from his birth itself, the first time he's spoken, attai tindru ange kidakkum. It will eat that and it will stay there. It's a very cryptic language. It could be great Mahatmas and great Bhashyakaras have translated in different ways. But to the limited knowledge that I have, and I've read those, the most simple explanation of this could be, if you look at our own existence, we have the body, we have the mind, we have the intellect. All this is the inert matter. Jada padartham. Inside this Jada padartham is that Antaryami, that Chaitanyamaya Rupam, which is inside, which is enlivening all this. So inside this dead being, which is in a way inert being, you have that enlivening force, that consciousness that is there inside. Shettadin vayittil shiriyadu ondru pirandal. If there is this, there seems to be this Chaitanyam inside this Achetana, inside this Jada Swarupam, inside this inert matter, there seems to be that enlivening consciousness. So it seems to be a very strange combination of an inert matter and an enlivening force. So when such a combination exists, when such a combination comes into being, how will that consciousness survive? What will that consciousness do? What will the consciousness enjoy, and where will that consciousness stay? So he's asking the definition of the jiva. What is this strange combination of the jiva, and what will the jiva do? So in that state of the jiva, Nammalvar says, Attai tindru ange kidakkum. The jiva, though the consciousness by itself is supreme, but being entangled in this Jada Padartham, it becomes the bhokta, it becomes the enjoyer, the karta bhokta. The kartru bhoktru rupam comes into that, and it becomes the enjoyer of all the pleasures and sufferer of all the pains. Attai tindru ange kidakkum. It will remain bound like that to that body, to that Jada Padartham, until and unless it wants to get liberated. Until that realization, until that liberation comes, it will remain bound. It will remain in bondage to that Jada. So this was the beautiful exchange of words between the Shishya and the Guru. And that very moment, Madhurakavi takes in Nammalvar as his Guru, and Nammalvar takes Madhurakavi as the Shishya. The greatness of Madhurakavi, as we saw in the last episode itself, he has not composed on the Vishnu or Narayana in any temple. The only 11 verses he has composed, which we also heard in the last episode, are the verses on Nammalvar. 11 verses composed on Nammalvar, his Guru. For him, Guru is everything. There is none other than his Guru. Such was the Guru Bhakti of Madhurakavi Alvar. That is why he is also considered an Alvar itself. Nammalvar lived for about 35 years only in his physical frame on this earth. But he composed nearly 1300 verses. They form nearly 1/3 of the Nalayana Divya Prabandham. Nearly 1/3 of those are composed by Nammalvar. The fourth part of the Nalayana Divya Prabandham, the 4,000, is entirely the Tiruvazhmozhi, which is the magnum opus of Nammalvar. The Tiruvazhmozhi is considered to be equivalent to Samavedam itself. It's considered as the Samaveda Saram. After the physical demise of Nammalvar, Madhurakavi Alvar did a great deal in spreading the Pasurams and the message of Nammalvar far and wide. The Tiruvazhmozhi is the fundamental, I would say, the basis of the entire Sri Vaishnava Sampradayam, as well as the Vishishtadvaita Siddhantam, which was propagated by the later Acharyas, developed and propagated by the later Acharyas, the crest jewel among them being Ramanujacharya. The very first verse of the Tiruvazhmozhi itself defines the various aspects of this Siddhantam, which was later elaborated by Ramanujacharya and the other Acharyas. The very first verse of the Tiruvazhmozhi is Uyarvara, Uyar Nalam, Udayavan, Yavanavan. Mayarvara, Madinalam, Harulinan, Yavanavan. Ayarvarum, Amarargal, Adipati, Yavanavan. Tuyararu, Shudaradi, Toldu Öழு Manane, Yen Manane. Uyarvara, Uyar Nalam, Udayavan. Uyarvara, in whose presence, in whose greatness, everything else becomes non-existent. He is the supreme greatness personified, the greatest of all. Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan. Uyarvara, Uyar Nalam, highest bliss, of the nature of highest bliss. Udayavan, the one who has these as his qualities. these and different Kalyana Gunams as his qualities. Yavanavan, who is that? That is the beauty, that is the very first line itself defines Vishishtadvaitam. Vishishtadvaitam says that Brahman is not Nirguna, as mentioned in the Advaita Siddhanta, that Brahman is Saguna, it's full of Kalyana Gunams, and he is Vishnu, the Supreme Narayana is that Brahman, who is not Nirguna, who is full of Kalyana Gunas. Udayavan. Udayavan itself says having qualities. That is why it's Vishishta Advaita. It is Advaita with qualities, qualified Advaita. So he has these qualities of highest bliss and highest greatness, unexplicable greatness. Mayarvara Madinalam Arulinan Yavanavan. It is not just that he has these qualities, he also grants knowledge and devotion and removes the ignorance of the jivas. Out of his great compassion and karunyam, he does that for his devotees, for his bhaktas, for the jivas. Ayarvarum Amarargal Adipati Yavanavan. The great muktas, mukta jivas, out of countless births, when the jiva progresses towards liberation and it becomes the Nitya Suris and it becomes the mukta jivas, they are the Amarargal and he is their Adhipati. He is the Lord of everyone. He is the Lord of all the celestials, all the Amarargal and all the Nitya Suris and mukta jivas. He is the Adhipati, means he is the Lord of everything. Such a Lord who is full of Kalyana Gunams, who can also grant us devotion and knowledge and take us to the state of the Mukta Jiva. Tuyar Aru Sudaradi. So, Ulu Yen Manane. O mind, fall at his feet. Fall at his divine feet. Do Ainkaryam, do service, do seva to him. And that is how you will be uplifted. So, in this one Pasuram itself, he describes that Supreme Being, what is the Supreme Being capable of giving. He is the Lord, being the Lord of everyone. And if you have to reach that state, if you have to become Patram for his Karunyam, and you have to attain the state of liberation, what do you need to do? Even that Upayam is given in this one verse. So, this one verse is said to be the defining verse itself of the Vishishtadvaita Siddhanta. And now we shall hear to this Pasuram and a few other Pasurams in this decade, the first decade of the Thiruvaimozhi.
Uyarvara Uyarnalam Udayavan Yavanavan Uyarvara Uyarnalam Udayavan Yavanavan Mayarvara Madinalam Arulinan Yavanavan Uyarvara Uyarnalam Udayavan Yavanavan Mayarvara Madinalam Marulinan Yavanavan Uyarvara Uyarnalam Udayavan Yavanavan Ayarvarum Amarargal Adipati Yavanavan Ayarvarum Amarargal Adipati Yavanavan Tuyarare Sudaradi Toludezhun Manane Uyarvara Uyarnalam Udayavan Yavanavan Namavan ஈவன் நூவன் அவளிவள் உவளவள் நாமவன் ஈவன் நூவன் அவளிவள் உவளவள் தாமவர் ஈவரூவர் அதுவிது ஊதுவது தாமவர் ஈவரூவர் அதுவிது ஊதுவது வீமவை ஈவை ஊவை அவை நலம் தீங்கவை வீமவை ஈவை யூவை அவை நலம் தீங்கவை ஆமவை ஆயவை ஆய நின்றவரே ஆமவை ஆயவை ஆய நின்றவரே நின்றனர் இருந்தனர் கிடந்தனர் திரிந்தனர் நின்றிலர் இருந்திலர் கிடந்திலர் திரிந்திலர் நின்றனர் இருந்தனர் கிடந்தனர் திரிந்தனர் நின்றிலர் இருந்திலர் கிடந்திலர் திருந்திலர் என்றும் ஓர் இயல்பினர் என நினைவறியவர் என்றும் ஓர் இயல்பொடு நின்ற வெந்திடரே உயர்வர உயர் நலம் உடையவன் யவனவன்
In the Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya, Narayana, of course, is the ultimate. Lord Vishnu as Narayana is the supreme being. Hence, Om Namo Narayanaya is the Moola Mantram, the Ashtakshari Mantram. Om Namo Narayanaya is the Moola Mantram. And Narayana is the crux of that mantram. And that is exactly what Nammalvar is glorifying and extolling in this Pasuram, where he says, just chant that name of Narayana and you will be liberated. That name, that mantra itself is enough to take you to liberation. So he glorifies, he gives the mahima of that mantra, of that nama of Narayana. So we shall now listen, we shall now hear to those Pasurams that extol the greatness of the Narayana mantra.
கண்ணன் கழலினை நண்ணும் மனமுடையீர் எண்ணும் திருநாமம் திண்ணம் நாரணமே கண்ணன் கழலினை நண்ணும் மனமுடையீர் எண்ணும் திருநாமம் திண்ணம் நாரணமே நாரணன் எம்மான் பாரணங்காளன் வாரணம் தொலைத்த காரணம் தானே நாரணன் எம்மான் பாரணங்காளன் வாரணம் தொலைத்த காரணம் தானே தானே உலகெல்லாம் தானே படைத்திடந்து தானே உண்டு உமிழ்ந்து தானே ஆழ்வானே தானே உலகெல்லாம் தானே படைத்திடந்து தானே உண்டு உமிழ்ந்து தானே ஆழ்வானே ஆழ்வானாழி நீர் கோள்வாய் அரவணையன் தாழ்வாய் மலரிட்டு நாழ்வாய் நாடீரே ஆழ்வானாழி நீர் கோழ்வாய் அரவணையன் தாழ்வாய் மலரிட்டு நாழ்வாய் நாடீரே.
Nammalvar was madly intoxicated with the love of Krishna. He saw Narayana, of course, as Narayana, but in many of the Pasurams, he has seen Narayana as Krishna himself. He sometimes speaks as the Nayika of Krishna, unable to bear the separation from Krishna. Sometimes as the mother of the Nayika, saying that my daughter is separated from you and see her state. So in all these ways, he has expressed his love towards the Lord. The greatness of the work of Nammalvar is such that one of the last Alvars of the Alvar Goshti, who is great in his own respect, Tirumangai Alvar, he arranged for the Tiruvazhmozhi to be chanted, to be sung in front of Ranganatha, in front of Namperumal, in Srirangam for 10 days, starting from the Vaikunta Ekadashi onwards. Every night, there would be chanting of the Tiruvazhmozhi in front of Sri Ranganatha. And this is called the Irapattu, the Rapattu Adhyayanotsavam, the Rapattu festival, the 10 days when Tiruvazhmozhi is sung. And to listen to that Tiruvazhmozhi, all the Alvars, the idols of all the Alvars from different Divya Deshams would be brought to Sri Rangam. All of them would stay in the presence of Ranganatha, and the Tiruvazhmozhi will be sung for 10 days. And this Adhyayanotsavam, it ends with the Alvar Moksham, where Nammalvar is given Moksham. He falls at the feet of Namperumal and he attains liberation. This is the greatness of this jewel among Alvars, Nammalvar. He is actually considered traditionally to be the body of the Alvars, and all others are considered to be the limbs. All other Alvars are considered to be the limbs. So it's indeed a great fortune that we are able to speak about this great Nammalvar and were able to listen to some of his Pasurams. Tomorrow, we shall move. We shall look at the next set of Alvars. The father and daughter, Periyalvar and Andal, is what we will look at tomorrow. Till then, Namaskar.